Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ladpad, and this is the first video going up on my YouTube channel. I'm thrilled to be here. I've been playing World of Tanks for about 10 years now, and it's been a long dream of mine to actually bring some World of Tanks content and some other ideas and videos to you. So, if you're joining me here, thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be starting up a new venture, and we are joining NoFateNoHope in his T57 Heavy, and this is going to be an incredibly fast round. NoFateNoHope is going to use this tank's strengths to the fullest. A little bit about the T57 Heavy. It's not the most popular tank in the game anymore. When it was first introduced, this tank had much better gun handling, and it still had this incredible gun. The main, perhaps defining feature of the T57 is it's got a 4-round autoloader, and it's got incredible damage per minute. Not only does this thing hit hard with its 1600 damage clip, it also unloads it incredibly quickly. It's got a 2-second interclip reload, and that means if you can get behind something, it's going to take you 6 seconds to almost total their entire tank. And spoiler warning, NoFateNoHope is going to do an immense amount of damage to his opponents in this replay. He's going to start off the game, and he's going to hold an off angle. One of the perhaps worst features about the T57 Heavy is that its armor is inconsistent and it's not terribly quick. This is a support vehicle in the heavy tank classification system, and that makes a big difference in terms of being able to affect your games, because the heavy tank role has the biggest role to play in the majority of games. He's going to be matched up against tanks like the E100, like the S-Conk, like the Type 5H, and he's gonna struggle to do immense amounts of forward pushing. What he can do that's different than those tanks is he has burst damage. He hits a tracking shot, he's unloaded 3, I love that he's pulling back, he's unloaded 4, and he's done 1600 damage and doesn't take any in return. Now you remember I said the T57 Heavy's armor is inconsistent, and that's because you can't rely on it. Right there, he gets a bounce from the UDES, and you will pull off some bounces in this tank. Because of how the turret is angled and sloped, you actually have a chance to bounce shells every now and then. Unfortunately, you can't poke over a ridgeline and expect to miss shells. Also, the T57 doesn't have amazing gun handling and doesn't have incredible accuracy, so he puts in 1, he puts in 2, and he puts in 3. He actually gets the fire, so he's very fortunate to have that full mag, almost that full mag go in, and the fire just caps it off. This tank, incredible at support, not great on its own pushing a flank. Now, NoFateNoHope spies a TD. He's being aggressive, and the T57 punishes aggression incredibly well, but right now he's going to focus on the CC. He puts in 3, he puts in 4, and unfortunately several low rolls in that mag, but he still is coming out. We are 3.5 minutes into this replay, and he's done nearly 5,000 damage, and he's focused on this Ho-Ri. The T57 does an incredible job of punishing opponents that are out of position. That's why it has that support label, and so now he's got HP, he's watched the Type 5 fire, and he knows he can clip this Ho-Ri. The Ho-Ri fires, he puts in 1, he puts in 2, he puts in 3, and he needs to penetrate one last shell to avoid any oncoming damage. He gets it. He took 1 shot from an S-Conqueror, and he clipped almost the entirety of an entire tier 10 tank. And NoFateNoHope is cooking right now. Notice how incredible this reload is. It's not just the interclip reload on the T57 Heavy, it's also, you can get the shells into the mag so quickly. I don't know how that bounces. He must have hit a very funky angle. Still, he gets in 2 into the Type 5, and he's going to hunt for a 3rd, puts it into the cheek. Great marksmanship there for the last 3 shells. And once again, he is loading this clip in so fast. The T57 Heavy has amazing damage per minute. You will not find better damage per minute on any autoloader in the game, and that's what makes this tank so incredibly special. Now he's loaded heat, so he can't go through any objects. He doesn't need to, though. He farms up the rear end of the Object 257, and now he's thinking to himself, how can I get an extra shell or two into this Type 5? He wedges his tank up. I love that play. He's thinking about alternative angles, and he's starting to go to town once again on this poor Type 5. Man, the Type 5, incredibly inflexible, huge glut of HP, and the Type 5 feeds a gigantic sum of hit points to our hero. He did 2,000 damage to that Type, and the Type never even had a chance to shoot him back. And that just shows what the T57 Heavy can do when other tanks don't pay attention to it. He watched other tanks distract the Type 5, and he farmed. This is a cracking replay, and it's not going to go on for too much longer. No fate, no hope. Taking a look at the AMX, hoping he makes a mistake. It only takes him 2 seconds to clip out the remainder of that guy's hit points. He's poking around, and notice he's not pushing the pace of the combat. That's something the T57 Heavy does really, really poorly. If it goes into the face of its enemy, its mediocre armor is going to get quickly cut through, and so he's waiting for his opportunity. And really, that's what you have to do in this tank. You've got to wait for your opportunity. It's hard to create it. Oh, clutch shell right there. Manages to go through the tier 9 tank destroyer and high roll, so he avoids any return damage. Now, no fate, no hope. His entire team, they're up 1,800 hit points, and he's found another juicy snack. The E100 it has flat armor, it's got a ton of HP, and it's a dream for these wonderful heat shells to slice through. He's got 340 millimeters of penetration. That is excellent for a heavy tank. He manages to bounce a heat shell from the T57, and now he's gonna farm. He bounces one, unfortunately. He's shooting down, then he adjusts his aim much better this time. He puts in his 2, and he puts in his 3rd shell, and he's up. He's 9 hit points away from that magical 10,000 damage number, and now it's a free farm. His team is pushing forward, he's pushing forward, and he's thinking, how can I get that last 9 hit points of damage? Maybe the artillery will be it. Nope, he ignores the artillery. He knows he's got to farm a full health Object 140 in front of him. A few things to think about this replay. This is only, so far, 7.5 minutes into this replay. It has been almost non-stop action, and that's because, and he's able to capitalize on that because of this tank's incredible DPM. He actually ignores the object because he only has 2 HP for a moment, decides eventually, well, I should probably finish him off, and then he's pushing forward. When you're in the cleanup phase of the game, when you're sure your team has it easily in hand, you've just got to YOLO towards the enemy positions. Now he's going to look, think about the Waffenträger, and he's thinking, there's no way he gets this batch head, right? Absolutely no way. But his team misses. They miss again. And this bat chat feeds no fate, no hope, the last vestige of his health. And that is 11,000 damage in just over 8 minutes. A cracking round, and really a beautiful illustration of exactly how the T57 Heavy should be used. And a quick look at the post-game results. No fate, no hope had a stonking round in the T57 Heavy. He gets 11,379 damage. He cleans up 5 kills, and I want to show how many rounds he put into the various tanks. He put 4 into the Hori, he put 5 into the Tier 9 Italian TD, he put 4 into the 140, 5 in the Type 5 Heavy, 3 into the E100, 3 into the UDES, and set him on fire, and he clipped the entirety of this Skoda T50. What No Fate, No Hope did incredibly well is he managed to isolate his targets, and he made sure that he wasn't pushing too aggressively. He didn't push into the teeth of the enemy. He waited until he saw his opportunity, and he did incredible amounts of damage. Taking a look here at the team results, No Fate, No Hope, obviously top scores. The next best player on his team does 3,500 damage. Good round for him. The E100 on the enemy team that was on nearly full HP until No Fate, No Hope ran up onto him gets 4,000 damage, and would have probably pulled off an impressive carry had it not been for our hero. He shoots 33 shells, only 3 left in the tank. He has 32 hits and 30 penetrations. Great marksmanship from NoFateNoHope. He loses an immense amount of credits, even running a premium count, because he was slinging the gold ammunition, and he ends up with 1,564 base XP, easily enough for the mastery badge. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me here on this first YouTube video. I wish you all the best and have a great day.